Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Verlicity AI Podcast. I'm Cristian Worthington.
And I'm Sandra Giffin.
In today's episode, we're going to do something a little dangerous. We're going to predict the future of AI, specifically how AI is going to roll out and impact how we work in the next few years.
That's right, and we're going to take a trip back in time and look at how massive changes in technology ripple through the business world. We're going to draw some conclusions about the likely evolution of AI in our work life over the next few years.
Our goal in this episode is to give you a sense of the surprising ways AI might invade your job and how you can start developing your skills to be ready for this revolution.
Okay, so let's start by imagining it's the early days of the personal computer revolution. It's the 1970s. Computers are gigantic machines that fill whole rooms. They are locked away in corporate basements or university labs, run by specialists in white coats. The idea of owning a computer was science fiction for most people.
Absolutely. They were tools for massive corporations calculating payrolls or governments collecting taxes and running complex simulations. These machines were utterly inaccessible to ordinary people. These machines bore no resemblance to the server farms you see today. We're used to seeing pictures of server farms with thousands of computers in a giant room. But the systems in the 1970s filled an entire room with just one computer. Imagine a whole room with just one CPU.
Then, something shifted dramatically. Machines like the Apple II, the Commodore PET, the IBM PC, the Apple Mac, and PC clones started appearing. Computing power migrated away from corporate basements and university labs to the office desk, the classroom, even the kitchen table. It was a paradigm shift. Power decentralized. Innovation exploded.
We all know how it turned out today, but at the time it was strange. People had absolutely no idea what personal computers could do. There were no apps, no internet, and most people didn't know they had a use for this technology.
In the early days, people took tasks they had done manually and transferred them onto these new devices. For a lot of users, a personal computer was just an insanely expensive typewriter or calculator.
But all that changed as humans did the thing we humans do so well. They adapted and learned and transformed these machines, and in the process transformed the world we all live in today.
A lot of the applications of personal computers required companies to invent software, like word processing, spreadsheets, databases, and eventually the internet and all that followed.
But the really fascinating innovation happened on people's personal computers. Developers and ordinary people adapted these flexible machines to meet millions of use cases no one could have imagined in the 1970s. The inventiveness of all those individuals and the marketplace of ideas created a revolution that has not only transformed our economy, it has transformed our personal lives.
So today, we want to explore a compelling hypothesis. Is artificial intelligence poised for a similar transformation? Right now, AI feels like those early mainframes, dominated by big tech, implemented in large-scale corporate projects, controlled by giant corporations and governments.
We can see it happening. Ordinary people are using chatbots to answer questions in the way they used to search on Google, and they are composing emails using AI. But all this feels a lot like those early days of the personal computer revolution, when people were just transferring existing tasks to a new tool.
The uses for AI in the ordinary lives of people are just getting started. The innovation phase of this revolution is in its infancy.
Yes, and we see a parallel. We might call this the personal AI revolution. That's our focus today. We believe AI might be moving beyond a top-down deployment to become something individuals creatively assemble and customize, building their own personalized AI stacks.
AI stacks is a concept many listeners may not be familiar with. I think it would be helpful if we quickly defined what that means. Is this the same as an AI agent?
Yes, I get your point. Let me see if I can explain. An AI agent is a system that can autonomously perform a task. For example, a system that can plan a holiday for you, book and pay for the flights and hotel rooms. An AI agent is like a personal assistant. It handles tasks start to finish, like booking a trip. But an AI stack, that's you, building your own assistant from scratch, piece by piece.
So, you say to the AI agent that you want to go to Hawaii in the second week of February, and you tell it what kind of experience you want, and it does the rest.
Yes, exactly. But an AI stack is not a single system. It's an assortment of individual pieces that can be assembled however you want. Imagine you buy a Lego set. Maybe it comes with a picture on the box that says, you can use it to build a medieval castle, but you open the box and you decide to build a bungalow with a 2-car garage. The Lego blocks can be assembled any way you want.
So it's not one thing or another. It's whatever you want it to be.
That's right. And all the pieces are designed to work together, so you don't need to be a software developer to make them work. And when you're done, the resulting system that you've built may perform a function like an AI agent, but it's something you designed yourself.
So, the future of AI isn't just about using pre-built apps or AI embedded in the processes of giant corporations. We believe we're going to witness a groundswell, a movement of ordinary people integrating AI into their lives in unexpected ways.
Yes. In this episode, we're going to predict how this will unfold and how you can become part of the personal AI movement.
The top-down world of AI was unavoidable. After all, it takes huge data centers and hundreds of billions of dollars for the electricity needed to produce a single large language model. And LLMs would not be possible without all the world's information being digitally available on the internet, so it could be crawled and crunched in those massive data centers. Generative AI is, without question, the greatest single achievement of humankind. No endeavor required the work of more people to make a single product.
For example, if you download an LLM model like Llama or DeepSeek onto your PC, you have in your possession the work of hundreds of millions of people. The generative AI revolution didn't happen in someone's basement.
And it's undeniable, AI is making huge waves in large organizations. Think about finance, AI analyzing market trends, detecting fraud, automating compliance checks at a scale impossible for humans.
Or in healthcare, where AI assists in diagnosing diseases from scans and accelerated drug discovery by simulating molecular interactions. These are multi-million-dollar projects, often involving bespoke AI models trained on vast proprietary datasets.
Yeah, Fortune 500 companies have rushed into AI on a scale we didn't see with the personal computer revolution or the internet. This has been a very top-down deployment of technology. Companies like Amazon are using AI to optimize warehouse operations and predict demand. Car manufacturers are using it for designing vehicles and powering autonomous driving features. The investment is colossal because the potential returns in efficiency or creating entirely new capabilities are just staggering. In many ways, AI is ideally suited for organizations with economies of scale because the cost of implementing these customized systems can be recovered over millions of interactions.
The story for AI changes as we look at the next tier of businesses. Small to medium businesses typically don't have the resources to build custom AI from scratch. Instead, they're integrating AI capabilities offered as a service. These AI services are usually just wrappers, offering access to a generative AI model with a front end that's tailored to a specific task. For example, these services can be used to add an AI-powered chatbot to a business website or give a user the ability to interact using speech-to-text conversion. They are relatively simple apps.
These small to medium-sized companies are essentially renting AI capabilities, plugging them into their existing operations. It lowers the barrier to entry, but they're generally using tools that are designed for broad market needs. They are not highly tailored solutions. These tools are impressive, but they offer only incremental improvements to smaller businesses. The kinds of outsized benefits we see in large corporations are not trickling down to the small to medium tier of businesses.
And this brings us to the end users, the personal AI movement, the massive end user market. Everyone using tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude for drafting emails, summarizing text, and generating creative content, or using AI-powered features in photo editing software, navigation apps, language translation tools. In a world dominated by giant AI companies and corporations, these ordinary users may seem like the least likely heroes of the story.
But as you'll soon see, these are the ones to watch. End users are the people who will change the world using AI in unprecedented ways. This is David and Goliath's story. Only the slingshot is the most powerful tool ever developed by humanity.
So here's the big question. What if users aren't just passive consumers of AI apps, but active builders? What if they start connecting AI tools and AI agents in creative ways along with their existing digital tools to create personalized, automated systems? This brings us to the core idea, the AI stack.
Think of the AI stack like AI Lego bricks. You have a text generation brick, like Gemini or Claude, a data analysis brick, an email automation brick, a cloud storage brick, like Google Drive or Dropbox. The AI stack is about snapping these bricks together in unique combinations to build something specific to your needs. An AI stack is your personal toolkit, a combination of AI tools, AI agents, and cloud-based tools that work together, so you can solve problems by mixing them in creative ways.
A very clear example exists within integrated ecosystems like Google Workspace or Microsoft 365. Sandra mentioned Gemini earlier. You can use Google's Gemini to analyze a document stored in your Google Drive, then have it draft an email response in Gmail, maybe even schedule a meeting in Calendar based on the content. The AI isn't just chatting, it's interacting with your other tools and data and taking action on your behalf. It could even access your credit card and your financial details.
Microsoft and Google are now locked in an AI arms race, but while they battle for dominance, you can build stacks that transcend their ecosystems. Just a couple of weeks ago, Microsoft launched AI agents that can automate entire workflows. Imagine an AI that reads a PDF, updates a spreadsheet, and emails your team without human input. This isn't just incremental, it's an attempt to dominate the future of work. These companies are leveraging their existing suites to create stacks of services that users can combine to do the tasks they want done. Let's look at an example so you can see how this would work.
Imagine you're a property developer and you have some land you want to develop. The land sits in a municipality that has zoning rules. The land has boundaries and a location that limits its uses based on those zoning rules. There are also building codes and possibly state or federal laws to consider.
The rules governing property development are Byzantine. They are often the reason housing takes so long to build, because developers spend too much time trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, only to discover that their project will be rejected by the planning authorities because they tripped over some obscure rule.
Depending on where you live, these rules can be shocking. In Vancouver, where we're based, the rules are so bad that it takes on average 3.5 years to get a shovel in the ground. This isn't just an annoyance. It's a problem that touches people's everyday lives because it contributes to the high cost of housing.
Now imagine a stack of AI tools, not a special app, just a loosely assembled stack of AI tools. Our property developer could load all of his or her documents into Google Drive, planning regulations and zoning laws into one subdirectory, photographs of the land and the neighborhood in another subdirectory, maybe a survey report describing the land boundaries, and any documents or news articles detailing the successes and failures of other developers in the area.
Basically, we're talking about a comprehensive repository of all the information that you could possibly need or want to be the world expert on your piece of land, all in neatly arranged subdirectories on a Google Drive.
In the pre-AI days, this information would be useful, but you'd have to read every document, and you'd have to be an expert in using this information to get the best and most profitable use of your land. And you'd need a lot of experience to make sure the project could survive the review by the city planners.
But with an AI stack, all this becomes trivial. First, upload all your documents into Google Drive. Then, Gemini scans the zoning laws, cross-references the files in your Google Drive describing the land, and generates a compliant proposal, all without you lifting a finger. Imagine! You can have a complete submission ready for approval by the city in minutes.
You could even have the system kick out alternative plans and explore different uses of the land. You could do this while you're visiting the property. You could even do this while you're considering the purchase of some land, before you even buy the property.
This is an example of an extremely simple stack, Google Drive and Gemini. But you could easily imagine adding AI agents to this stack that would let you explore the real estate sales potential of each alternative plan you create. You could have another agent attached that could explore tax consequences or the prospect for any government grants or incentives. A relatively unskilled user could assemble the AI Lego blocks in whatever way best serves his or her needs.
And it's really important to remember, none of this requires anyone to create a special AI application. The user can build this system from AI Lego blocks without any technical assistance. Each piece would be able to adapt itself to work with the other pieces.
The implications of this type of AI stack across millions of applications are staggering. We're talking about efficiency unlike anything humanity has experienced in every conceivable field of endeavor, and each one of these AI stacks will be a reflection of the specific needs of the person who creates them. Just as the furniture in your home is arranged the way you like it, these components will be arranged in the way that best suits your requirements.
Maybe it would help to think of this problem in the context of a technology we're all familiar with, from the personal computer revolution. When spreadsheets were introduced to the market, they were immediately understood to be useful. But it wasn't until people started creating three-dimensional spreadsheets with the ability to share data with other tools that the incredible power was fully realized.
Another good example is the mobile phone revolution. When Steve Jobs first released the iPhone, he had no intention to let people develop their own apps, but the demand was so great that he relented and the App Store was born. Imagine iPhones without an App Store. Imagine Android without apps. That's where AI sits today. But in the next couple of years, these AI Lego blocks will become commonplace, and the user community will become familiar with how they interlock together.
But AI is different in one very significant respect. Unlike spreadsheets or iPhones, AI systems will be able to adapt themselves to work together. This will mean that users won't need to be gurus who can write code and build interfaces to APIs.
And that's the potential magic here. It moves beyond generic use cases towards highly specific, personalized automation and augmentation. It's problem solving at an individual level, powered by AI components. Now that we've seen how a property developer might use an AI stack, let's explore the tools making this possible for everyone.
Chris, earlier you mentioned technology can feel like science fiction. Let's prove AI stacks are not sci-fi. Right now, let's guide our listeners through building their first AI stack. No coding, no budget. Just Gemini plus Gmail plus Drive.
Imagine this. You've got meeting notes scattered in Drive, action items buried in emails, and you need a summary report by noon. Let's automate this in 3 easy steps.
Step 1. Let's gather your Lego blocks. Open Google Drive and create a folder called Project X Meeting Notes. Upload your messy meeting notes, PDFs, documents, even voice recordings. In Gmail, search for Project X. Select all emails and click the label icon to tag them Project X.
Step 2. Activate Gemini's power. Go to Gemini and click the Google Workspace icon. Make sure Google Drive and Gmail are toggled on. Type a query in Gemini such as scan all files in my Project X meeting notes folder and all emails labeled Project X. Create a 1-page report with key decisions, action items, include an assignee and a deadline for each item, and indicate unresolved questions.
Step 3. Refine and deploy. Gemini will generate a draft. You can ask Gemini to tweak the report. For example, you can instruct Gemini to make the action items a table and bold unresolved questions. Once you're happy, tell Gemini to email this report to my team, copy me, and save it to Drive as Project X summary. Insert today's date.
Done. In 5 minutes, you've automated a task that used to take hours. But here's the magic. This stack keeps working.
Pro tip: toss the new notes and emails into that folder or label, and Gemini will auto-update the report weekly. Add Google Calendar to your stack. Have Gemini schedule follow-up tasks automatically.
This isn't just a time saver, it's a prototype. Swap meeting notes for invoices, research papers, or customer feedback. Your AI stack grows with you.
Your homework: try this today before the end of the day. Screenshot your first report and tag us at Verlicity AI. We'll reshare the most creative stacks. So now that you've built your first AI stack and you're obviously a pro, let's ask the big question. How technically feasible is this stack building for the average person, especially outside those tightly integrated suites like Google or Microsoft?
Users have 2 options. They can stay inside an existing stack like Google and Microsoft, or they can use so-called AI orchestration platforms. These orchestration services stitch together a lot of AI and cloud services that don't normally work together. Services like LangChain or Microsoft's AutoGen are like digital glue. They help different AI tools talk to each other without needing a programmer.
We're witnessing 2 competing visions, an open and a closed world of AI services. Companies like Microsoft want you inside their ecosystem. Their new AI agents only work seamlessly within Microsoft's walled garden. AI orchestration platforms are a vision of a more open landscape. But here's the kicker. The most powerful stacks will combine both. Use Microsoft or Google's agents for raw power, then connect them to open source tools for true personalization.
Are there other ways people can build an AI stack?
Yes. Companies like Google and Anthropic have announced protocols that will allow AI agents to talk to each other directly, without the user needing to build interfaces to APIs or worry about compatibility. These protocols act like a universal language. Imagine your Gemini agent and Claude agent shaking hands and collaborating without you playing translator. Services like Google's agent-to-agent protocol and Anthropic's model context protocol will bypass the need for a third-party product like Zapier, and they will work without you having to worry about APIs.
If you want a physical metaphor for the stage we're in with AI, I'm betting you have a drawer somewhere in your home with a large mass of cables and connectors to digital appliances you no longer own. That drawer represents a time when effortless wireless connections between your devices were not possible, and you had to buy adapters and cables that made things work together. AI is on a path to rapidly leap past the awkward phase. The era of the seamless AI stack is rapidly approaching.
So, while building complex stacks might still require some technical know-how today, the tools are rapidly emerging to lower the barrier. It's moving from the realm of developers towards power users and potentially, eventually, mainstream users.
The ecosystem for building personal AI stacks is actively being constructed. Google's Gemini is leading the way. Gemini can access the entire Google Workspace ecosystem, including everything from Google Drive to Gmail, Google Meet, and your calendar. And it's embedded in a wide range of other Google services like Search, Google Maps, and YouTube. I would encourage you to explore Google or Microsoft and see just how many services you can access directly from an AI query today. I'm immersed in this stuff every day, and I was surprised by how many tools you can access from a Gemini query today.
Power users will develop ways to use these services that will replace traditional software. I have visions of people working from home, when in fact, all the work is being done by a stack they have assembled. The nature of work could be altered by this technology. Employers may be less interested in the time you spend on a task than the result. If you can master AI, your AI stack could become your path to a new relationship with work.
This growing accessibility of stack building tools is what fuels this grassroots revolution. If individuals can assemble their own AI-powered workflows, what happens next? We return to the PC analogy. Who predicted that personal computers would lead to desktop publishing, completely upending the design industry, or that spreadsheets would become indispensable tools for businesses of all sizes?
Exactly. The most transformative applications often aren't the ones envisioned by the initial creators. They emerge from the needs, creativity, and tinkering of users on the ground. We might see hyper-personalized assistants, stacks designed to manage an individual's specific combination of health tracking, finances, scheduling, and communication in a truly integrated way. Niche business automation, small businesses, creating highly specialized workflows, a local bakery automating inventory checks based on sales data and weather forecasts, or a freelance designer using AI to generate initial concepts based on client briefs stored in their Notes app. Creative augmentation, artists chaining different generative AI models, text to image, image to music, style transfer, in unique sequences to create entirely new forms of art. Personalized learning, students building stacks to summarize research paper from online libraries, cross-reference them with lecture notes, generate flashcards, and schedule study sessions.
And it's important to know that creative arrangements of these stacks will inevitably be shared between users. So the recipe for using these powerful arrangements of stacks will be commonplace.
I think back to my experience in law school. When exam time came around, there was hot competition to get your hands on a good set of what we called CANs, condensed annotated notes. These were notes prepared by a really good student who attended the course in a previous year. We would cram for our exams using the CANs. Now, with AI in the picture, you won't have to depend on a smarty pants who previously went to the class. The AI will make an awesome set of CANs for you, for any subject in the world. In fact, the AI will do a lot more for you than just a set of CANs. Students at every level will now be able to use AI stacks to create a set of tools that will help do assignments or provide extra assistance in tricky parts of a course and even supply practice exams.
The role of AI agents could become central here. We're not just talking about chatbots, but potentially more autonomous agents tasked with specific functions within a stack. An agent could monitor specific websites for updates. Another could analyze incoming data streams. A third could negotiate appointments via email, all working semi-autonomously within a user-defined workflow.
This implies a shift from using AI tools to directing AI processes. The user becomes less of a manual operator and more of an orchestrator, setting goals and parameters for their personalized stack of agents and services.
The sheer unpredictability is exciting. Like the early web, where personal homepages and quirky forums blossomed alongside corporate sites, the personal AI stack movement could lead to a diverse, vibrant, and perhaps chaotic ecosystem of innovation that we can barely imagine today.
I think it's important to address the complexity factor. Will everyone be able to make these stacks work?
That's a good point. Currently, the standard for interoperability in the software industry is API, Application Programming Interfaces. These are software functions that allow one program to access another program and pass vital information between the two systems. They are effectively a communications tool that typically are only used by software developers.
Obviously, APIs won't be accessible to a normal user, even a power user creating an API stack.
That's right. We think APIs are an old school idea, a vestigial organ of a time when the connections between computer systems required software developers. In this new world of the AI stack, APIs won't be needed. The tools in an AI stack will be able to communicate directly using protocols like Google's agent-to-agent protocol. The AI agents will sort out how to talk to each other without the user having to lift a finger.
This vision of a personalized AI revolution, a user-driven AI future, is compelling, but it's crucial to approach it with open eyes.
If you're a software developer or involved in a small to medium-sized company that is thinking of developing a customized system using the APIs that are available today, well, let's just say you might want to take a beat and think. In the next 12 to 18 months, we're going to see the rise of agent-building platforms and the ability for these AI agents to interact in ways that will probably make your work obsolete before you're finished developing your project.
And if you're a typical user and you're worried about a digital divide, where you won't have the know-how to build your own stack, you should start working with services like Google's Gemini. It's incredibly easy, and the power of these tools will grow with you. You don't want to get left behind. We all have aging relatives or friends who didn't learn how to use mobile technology or the internet. You don't want to be that person.
Now, there are a few concerns.
Yes, data privacy and security are paramount. When you connect multiple services, you're potentially granting them access to interact with significant portions of your digital life: emails, documents, financial data. Managing permissions, understanding how data is used and secured across the stack, and mitigating risks of breaches becomes exponentially more complex. Before you trust these stacks with your data, make sure you do a quick bit of research into the rules and options. We have found that services like Gemini and OpenAI and Anthropic all offer the ability to configure your account so your data won't be used to train the AI models. For example, in Gemini, click Activity and toggle off. Improve Gemini. This ensures your meeting notes stay private and won't be used to train future models. It takes 10 seconds. Do it now.
Vendor lock-in is another possible risk. Building a complex stack heavily reliant on one company's AI model or integration platform could make it difficult or costly to switch later. We think these systems will develop capabilities designed to capture users and make it difficult to move away to another platform. But we also think it's likely that many of these systems will converge on similar features. Take Microsoft's new AI agents. They're brilliant, but they're designed to keep you dependent on Microsoft 365. If you build your AI stack entirely within one company's ecosystem, you're handing them the keys to your workflow. The personal AI revolution only works if you own the blueprint.
And the impact on employment is a recurring theme. While large-scale automation gets headlines, the cumulative effect of millions of individuals automating parts of their own workflows, or small businesses automating niche tasks previously done manually, could also lead to significant shifts in the labor market.
However, the potential upsides are equally profound. True democratization of powerful technology, enabling individuals and small organizations to achieve things previously only possible for large corporations. A Cambrian explosion of creativity and productivity as people tailor AI to their unique needs and passions.
We might see new forms of education focused on AI orchestration skills rather than just traditional coding, and potentially new industries built around creating, sharing, and servicing components for these personal AI stacks. It's a complex trade-off, requiring careful navigation by individuals, companies, and policymakers.
It's as impossible to predict the new jobs this will create as it would have been to predict the need for search engine optimization or website development or antivirus software in 1995 when the dot-com era began.
But one thing is certain. People who lean into the personal AI revolution and learn how to build and manage their own AI stack will have a place in the new AI economy. Just as SEO experts emerged with the internet, we'll see AI orchestrators designing custom stacks for businesses.
So the story of AI won't not just be about the headline-grabbing advancements from major labs. It's going to be about you. The personal AI revolution is going to be a ground-up movement driven by individuals assembling their own AI stacks. A future where AI becomes deeply woven into the fabric of our personal and professional lives, not just as tools we use, but as highly personalized systems we build and direct.
This is an unfolding story. Are you seeing signs of this in your own use of technology? Are you experimenting with connecting different tools? What would your ideal personal AI stack look like? And what would it help you achieve?
We want to encourage you to think about building your own AI stack. Try Gemini's workspace integration this week. Use it to draft emails from your Drive files, or maybe use it to write a report using documents in your Google Drive as source material. Share your experiment with us at Verlicity AI.
At Verlicity AI, we believe you have the power to shape the AI revolution. Let us know your thoughts. Reach out at verlicity.ai. And please remember to share this podcast with a friend and subscribe.
Until next time, I'm Cristian Worthington.
And I'm Sandra Giffin. Stay curious, build your own personal AI stack, and we'll see you soon on the Verlicity AI Podcast.